Tonight, before you go to sleep, you will do something you have done every single night of your life. You will check the room. Maybe you will glance at the corner. Maybe you will look under the bed. Maybe you will just make sure the door is closed. You will not think about why. You will just do it. And somewhere on the other side of the planet, in a village with no electricity, no internet, and no connection to you whatsoever, someone else is doing the exact same thing. They are checking too, and they do not know why either. This is not a coincidence. This is not culture. This is something that was written into your biology long before you were born. And the answer to why changes everything you think you know about fear, about your brain, and about what it actually means to be human. Let's start with the dark, because the dark is where this story begins. Right now, in the 21st century, with lights on every street and a phone in your pocket, you are still afraid of the dark. Not completely, not irrationally, but that small pull, that slight discomfort when the lights go out, that instinct to reach for the switch. You feel it. Every human on Earth feels it. And for a long time, scientists assumed this was learned, a childhood thing, something you picked up from a scary movie or a parent who said don't go out at night. But then researchers started studying people who had never seen a scary movie. People raised in complete isolation from Western culture, remote tribes in the Amazon, hunter-gatherer communities in Africa, children who had never been told to be afraid of anything, and every single one of them was afraid of the dark, not because anyone taught them, because something inside them already knew. In 2012, researchers at the University of Toronto published a study that confirmed what evolutionary biologists had suspected for decades. Fear of darkness is not learned. It is inherited, encoded into human DNA across hundreds of thousands of years of survival. Because for your ancestors, the dark was not an inconvenience. It was a kill zone. Lion attacks in Tanzania are 60% more likely to occur after 6 p.m., not because lions are more active at night, because humans cannot see in the dark, and lions can. Every other major predator that hunted humans for 300,000 years had one overwhelming advantage over us. Night vision, leopards, hyenas, wolves. All of them could see perfectly in conditions where your ancestors were completely blind. The dark was not peaceful. The dark was the hour when everything that wanted to eat you woke up. And the humans who were not afraid of the dark? They did not survive long enough to pass their genes forward. The ones who checked the shadows. The ones who felt that pull. The ones whose bodies flooded with quiet alarm when the light disappeared. Those are the ones who lived. Those are your ancestors. And that fear lives inside you right now. But the dark is only the beginning, because researchers discovered something even more surprising. Humans do not just share a fear of darkness, they share the exact same list of fears across every culture ever studied, separated by oceans and thousands of years, with no contact with each other. The same things, every time. Psychologist Arne Öhman at the Karolinska Institute in Sweden spent decades studying what he called prepared fears. Fears that are not learned but inherited, genetically transmitted from one generation to the next, like eye color or blood type. His research identified a consistent list of fears that appear in virtually every human population on Earth, regardless of culture, language, or geography. Darkness, snakes, spiders, heights, enclosed spaces, the face of a stranger approaching too fast, being separated from the group. Every single one of these fears has one thing in common. They were all deadly to your ancestors. Snakes killed more early humans than almost any other creature. Spiders carried venom that could drop a person in hours. Heights meant a fall that no ancient human could survive. Enclosed spaces meant being trapped with no escape route. A stranger approaching fast was almost never good news. And being separated from the group meant being alone in the dark with all of the above. Your brain was not given these fears randomly. It was given them because the humans who had them survived, and the ones who did not, did not. Now here is the part that should stop you completely. These fears make no logical sense in the world you live in today. You know this. You have always known this. You live in a city with no snakes. You have never once encountered a predator in the dark. The spider in your bathroom cannot hurt you, and yet, the fear arrives anyway, instantly, before your rational brain has time to say anything. Before you can even think the words, "it is fine," the alarm is already firing. Joseph Ledoux, a neuroscientist at New York University, discovered why this happens. The human brain has two pathways for processing fear. The first is FAST, a direct route from your senses straight to the amygdala, the fear center of your brain. This pathway takes 12 milliseconds. 12. It does not stop to think. It does not ask questions. It fires the alarm first and checks later. The second pathway is slow. It routes through the cortex, the thinking part of your brain. It takes nearly half a second. And by the time it arrives and says, actually, that shadow is just a coat on a chair, the first pathway has already flooded your body with adrenaline. Your heart is already faster. Your muscles are already tense. The alarm has already gone off. Ledoux called this the low road and the high road. The low road is ancient. The high road is modern. And in a fight between ancient and modern, ancient wins every single time, because ancient kept your ancestors alive, and modern arrived too recently to override it. So the next time you feel that pull, that small, irrational alarm in the dark, that instinct to check the corner of the room before you sleep, that flash of something when a spider appears on the wall, your rational brain will tell you it is nothing, and it is right. In the world you live in today, it is nothing. But your ancient brain does not live in today. It lives in a world 300,000 years old, a world where the dark moved, where the shadows had teeth, where the wrong choice at the wrong moment meant you never woke up. Every human on Earth shares these fears, because every human on Earth descended from the same survivors, the ones who checked, the ones who felt the alarm, the ones who were afraid enough to stay alive. You are not afraid of the dark because something is wrong with you. You are afraid of the dark because something went very right for a very long time. And tonight, when you reach for that light switch without thinking, that is not weakness. That is 300,000 years of survival. Still running, still working, still keeping you here.